All right, welcome back to Beers and Breakevens for round 13. It's we're in a bit of a weird mood in here tonight in the studio. Origin is upon us. There's a bit happening. We're a bit tired, some of us, I think is fair to say. Kat's been incredibly rude to me so far this evening, which has been a bit fucked, if I'm honest.
It's warranted.
Exhibit A. Timbo, you got a bit of a Mr. Burns look going on around here.
Yeah.
What's doing?
Weirdly in a very good mood, despite the train wreck of a SuperCoach weekend. A few things about it. First, I came into the studio post Playbook tonight, and yeah, you two have been into each other, which has been great.
Yep.
You give me a bit of support, which has been weird, Roo, so I'm up and about as a result of that. It's Origin Eve. I'm supremely confident about the Blues. Actually, when you're listening to this, it'll be Origin Day.
Yep.
So I'm confident about that. So yeah, despite a few SuperCoach disasters, feeling pretty good. How about you?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about the Blues. Your outward confidence has me a little bit alarmed of an early crow. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't appreciate the way you've gone about it.
It's Knights v Panthers levels of confidence.
Yeah, okay. Let's shut the fuck up, please. Don't ruin this for everyone. It is Tuesday night when we're recording. Despite the early cough from Tim that might have made you thought, it's early in the morning. No, it is night time. You're consistent. You're fucking good at what you do.
If it was early in the morning, there'd have been 4 coughs by now, to be fair.
Yeah, well, I tried to keep myself awake in about even before and had a little coffee before I went in, and I spent the hour pretty much trying to swallow my own throat. So that was good fun. Kat, how are you?
Very well. Very well. It's like Timmy said, it's Origin Eve.
Origin Eve?
It's actually Origin Day. Sorry, I've just done exactly what you did. There's a weird energy in here, and I'd like to think it's because we're so excited about State of Origin, and that's the effect that it has on us.
Yeah.
We're like little kids. We don't know what to do with ourselves.
Yeah, there's a bit of that.
There is a bit of that about us. Yeah. I would also like to address a comment I saw on YouTube last week that said, it took 13 minutes before we talked about rugby league. And to you, I'd like to say, shut the fuck up. We're having a good time. We're all enjoying ourselves. We don't take ourselves too seriously here.
We actually don't do this podcast for we do it just because we like to have a yarn, and then we feel as though we may as well throw it out.
SuperCoach just happens to come about at some point. So shout out to you in the comments. You're a bit of a dick. All right. Major sponsor, Lontel. We wouldn't be here without them. We would not be here without them. We've got a link in the description. You get free internet for the first week when you sign up using that link. And Timmy, they don't even take your card details. They don't take anything.
Every time you go, whenever it seems too good to be true, it is too good to be true. And you get there and then they want your card, and then all of a sudden you've forgotten 3 days later that you signed up something, you're $100 out of pocket or whatever said thing costs. With Lontel, no, we don't take your card. We don't want your details. We know you'll enjoy it so much that you'll stay.
Yeah, too good to be true is the old saying, but this is true and it is too good. It's really polarising in that way, Kat. Very
absolutely.
Good gear. Now, you might have noticed Timmy has got his SC Playbook, his Kuma Stallions jersey on. Now, we are selling them in a few weeks' time, so stay tuned for them. I do not have mine on. I have instead decided to support the great state of New South Wales. I did make a decision that my jersey's a little bit too close to maroon to wear today, and I didn't want to sit on here and make the argument that it's actually plum because I'd sound like a fucking idiot. So that's the lay of the land on that. Timmy looks great in his. They will be coming soon. Stay tuned for that. Top 30. So the way that will work is you'll go onto the website. There will be 30 Stallions jerseys, 30 Grizzlies jerseys. The Stallion jerseys have the Beers and Breakevens logo on the side. The Stallions jersey have the special dynasty, about 3 comps in a row on the side. But there'll be 30 of them. And if you try and get number 3, for example, there'll be size options there. You click it, you put it in your cart, you pay for it. If it's in your cart and someone buys it before you, tough titties. You have to go get another one. So think long and hard about which number you want, and keep in mind you won't be the only person going for the one jersey. So it will be tough.
Yeah, be wise.
Be wise, be fast, but be wise. And be ready to be like water, be liquid.
Geez, your jerseys with the titles on the side, that's going to become outdated very quickly. So
you reckon?
Just keep that in mind as well when purchasing, yeah.
Yeah, king of the bed shit.
I mean,
let time do its fucking thing.
Well, I just love, and let's segue into the weekend result, and maybe this is why I'm feeling happy, because I bed shit. I went really poorly, 857 or something. And we went into the Sunday game and you had a bunch of Raiders players and we both just sat there and went, I've just opened this. Not even a little door. I wound the door right open for you to make up ground on me. I gave you captaincy options. I gave you players. I gave you everything. And you didn't take it, did you?
Now, I would just like to actually reflect on how that conversation on Sunday really went, with you being like, oh my God, you got so many players, you're going to fucking kill it. And me saying, no, I've missed my fucking opportunity and I've shit the bed already this week. I won't gain as much as I should. I felt that way on Sunday morning, and it only got worse on Sunday because I don't think any of my players went above 50 and 2 of them got sin binned. That was fucking mad. Shout out to you boys. Now Starling's fucking suspended for a week.
I was very, very happy to see when I turned on the coverage over in New Zealand, the bucketing down rain when you had a lot of players and I had Hosking. So, yeah, you did make up some ground.
I made up some ground, but I should have made, considering you didn't have Dill Lucas, I should have made up more, but I didn't. Speaking of not making much ground.
Oh, here
How'd you go, bud?
Go.
How'd you go, buddy old pal?
8:55.
Is that what you were?
Yeah.
I actually beat her.
Oh,
I beat someone.
Why are you so
Did you not pick a
happy?
band?
I was 8:56.
So I captained Garrick, and I have a lot of I'm pretty mad at Manly just in general over that performance on Friday, and it didn't help that I was betting on Garrick performing as well because that didn't really happen.
Yeah, why'd you captain him? He didn't score well.
Anyway. I'm not.
She retreated on that very quickly.
She read the room very quickly, which I like.
I'm like, you can get through that one, Kat. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Similar story to you, though. Like, very few of my players scored over 50 outside of Fletcher Sharp and Kyle Iro. KL
That was a
Iro,
good little
sorry.
trade in.
It was,
KL.
and Iro was my trade of
KH
the week.
trading in KL. Like to see it. Very good. It was better than what you were going to do with Josh Shadokara. I think he scored 17. Got a shocking case of the Connor Tracy's about him.
I know.
Serious Tracy's about him.
I had a moment though. I was considering Adokar, but then looked at the upcoming fixtures and whatnot. It just didn't look like a wise choice. Whereas Kale Iro,
You looked at them, did you?
we looked at them.
Yeah, right.
Though it's nice how you keep tabs on everything.
Should have phone upside down. I had to fucking this is how you do it. Fucking rook by name, rook by nature. But no, KL was actually a very nice trade.
He was great.
Very
Good
good.
get.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about my team.
Would have been
Moving
huge
on.
if you captained him. But
Oh, I know.
would
Or
have been a very
Fletcher Sharp.
hindsighty call. Yeah. Great play by you, Fletcher Sharp.
Mate.
Like that. Great call in general by you on that play. I thought you'd lost the plot a little bit, but you nailed that. Credit to you.
Yeah, I'll be honest, mate. My week, it wasn't even like a case of just pointing the finger at not owning Dill Lucas for his 147, whatever it was. Mate, my team just had a Barry, like across the board, and Fletcher Sharp saved my behind a bit. Like I've dropped over 2,000, or about 2,000 spots in 2 weeks. Not happy about it, as one would imagine. So I'm 2,700th overall, but Fletcher saved me from being a lot worse.
Yeah, that could have been serious Barney rubble. I'm down to 11th. I'm up to 11. That's embarrassing. I'm up to 11,203 at the moment. So out of 170,000 teams, I feel like that's the first time I've seen the big 170 pop up in SuperCoach. Or am I off the mark?
Good numbers, eh?
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen 170 before.
Few little
Maybe I just don't pay attention.
Few little snipers coming in on the weekend, I'd imagine.
Yeah. As they're coming out of the woodwork. Here
Mate,
they come.
mini buy round this week. Tough going. How are your numbers looking?
I'm actually looking okay at the moment. I have...
Are you?
Oh, well, my 17's okay. If there is any injuries, any rule outs, anything happens, especially in state of origin, you might have heard of it, then I'm in a little spot of curry, which will cause a lot of stress to me. But yeah, at the moment, I'm okay. How are you looking? Because you got a couple. You've got more Sharkies than fucking
I
Craig
was a
Fitzgibbon.
bit skinny, but I'm actually not as skinny as you. I've got 19, and they're decent enough. Like I've got players like Riley Smith, Sandon Smith, Billy Smith in there, Rob Toyer, who I don't love. Like they're 80-minute players. They can knock out decent enough scores. I'll sit one of them as it stands, but. So I've got 19 decent players. I've got 20 if you include Royce Hunt, which we won't. So not bad. I can sit one of them. But, mate, I'm fully expecting, one or two players not to play out from Origin, whether it's via resting, whether it's via injury, whatever it might be. Like one of them being, I think, Cam Munster. I think on the Saturday for the Storm against the Titans is a decent chance to rest. He might play, but with Tyron Wishart sitting there, Storm sitting pretty, could easily sit out. So I think things are going to get worse before they get better.
I don't think you're going to get too many restings this weekend.
You reckon?
I reckon game 1 will be okay. The other 2 is going to be shit fuckery.
I think there'll
at its
be
very
mass
best.
restings round 2, Origin 2 after Perth.
Yep.
Origin 3, you're getting pretty deep into the season. You might be right, though. This week might be okay. Only in Brisbane, so not flying too far. But the Storm one is the one that makes me nervous with Munster. But in saying that, most of us are in it together with him.
Brisbane games as well. Like there tends to be a lot of ball movement, a lot kind of I feel like it's more so those Sydney games that are 10-8 that can get really fucked up for restings and shit. But game 1, I reckon they'll be okay. I also think, mate, when you have a look at the Origin sides, there's so many key players that are in teams that are in the bottom 5 or 6 sides.
Have to back up.
They kind of have to back up. And as you've pointed out previously, I think the Perth one will be the one to rest on. Now, on that note, we are recording this Tuesday night. You will be consuming Wednesday midday. Origin is on tonight when you are watching. That means that there is going to be big ramifications off the back of Origin. Guys like Payne Haas are going to be a big watch, Cam Munster, et cetera, et cetera. And we'll get a bit more of an update, a lay of the land on Thursday and Friday. So on our own platforms, SC Playbook, Guru, we'll go through it and we'll give you guys a little update later in the week. However that might look, whether you're in, a subscriber to SC Playbook, you're in the Roo Crew, just on the podcast, we'll give you an update as the weekend goes, but it's Origin time. Fucking white knuckle it. Hold on.
Yeah.
We'll work it out. We're all in the same boat. But yeah, I think Origin takes priority for the next 24.
And on that note, no late show tonight. The NRL actually called us and said, boys, we don't want to clash. The TV rights deal's worth too much.
Yeah.
We can't afford this double up. We can't afford to lose viewers because the late show's on.
Yeah.
So...
and I said, hey, Pete, listen here, fuck ya. I'll tell you what's up.
Yeah. So
that didn't happen. That didn't actually happen. That was people to me that did not actually happen.
But the NRL did call us to say we don't want to double up.
That's true. That did happen.
So no late show this week.
No late show. We'll be back next week.
Yeah, we decided we'd do some charity work,
Yes.
Give back a bit.
Give back.
Yeah.
Give back to the
Very,
game
very,
that's given
very
us so
quickly
much.
before we get into team list, because old mate in the comments will
fuck
rip
yeah.
some new one. This is unreal.
Fuck
Please
that
put
guy.
camera on me, Cat. Beers and Breakevens, the rugby league game presented by the Mulgowie Yowies. An avid listener of Playbook and Guru and Beers and Breakevens, an adaptation from the famous AMCO rugby league game, has written in with revised rules, 6 again rules, all sorts of things for the modern day game.
The 6 again's in there.
6 again's in there. Look,
Shit.
it's literally on the board. One of the greatest gifts probably the greatest gift I've ever received. The whole board, mate, there is customised Guru. I'm actually showing this as we speak. I've showed you that it happened, but there's customised like Guru and Stallions tokens on there here as well.
That's cool.
Penalty cards, a full description on rules, and it's the coolest thing ever. So thank you so much. How good's that?
Is there a card in there that I can use that forces you to shit the bed and fuck the entire season up? Does it come with one of those?
Yeah, but you can only use it 2 weeks of the season. I've already used it the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, mad.
But mate, that is...
And who's that from?
I'm just getting full name up right now.
Seems like a Craig to me.
No, Drew.
Oh, fuck. I wasn't wildly far
You weren't
off.
wildly
Craig's
far
and
off.
Drews are in the same
But
generation.
yeah, Drew Martin, CEO of the Mulgowie Yowies. So thank you so much, Drew. That is unbelievable.
That's hectic.
We're going to break that open over a few tins one night, I reckon.
And have a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll back that. Thanks, Drew. Appreciate it, legend. That's
All right.
fucking unreal. I love that.
Team this Tuesday.
TLT. Let's rip the scab off it. Okay. Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Dragons Knights, Jubilee Stadium for the Dragons. Tui Pelotu returns on the sting. Leilua on the edge. Stewart at 13. Toby Couchman back on the bench. Good to see. For the Knights, KP at 1. Fletcher Sharp named at 6. Gamble at 7. And Leo Thompson and Frizzell in the front row with Croker at jersey 13. Anything you want to touch on there, mate?
Just Christian Tui Pelotu back, 1 to monitor, averaging late 80s for the season. Obviously, that edge has changed a little bit since King Tonga has come in. Flano switched edges, but mate, the Dragons cover around 15 and 18, the next 2 major buys. Tui Pelotu's last game, he scored 90 odd, so that break even's about 36, I think. Coming back from a hamstring injury, you obviously want to have a look this week, but I don't think we have to wait too long because the price could go up if he bags a try or two this weekend. So he was a gun before that injury, so just one worth noting.
I think the other one just worth noting, and we'll talk about it in a few weeks' time when the time comes, but Jacob Saifiti's at 400K. With the Adam Elliott injury, mate, they're very short on middles up there. Once Saifiti does come back in a few weeks' time, he might be a conversation that's worth having, but because the weeks before that, he was absolutely flying, 59, 72 and 38 and 41 minutes, doing good things. So we'll talk about that when the time approaches. Let's move to Saturday, 3 p.m. The Gold Coast Titans taking on the Melbourne Storm for the Titans. Kieran Foran at 14. Arlick on the bench for the Melbourne Storm. Su'a on the Sting. Anderson at centre. Didn't think there was anything else to really touch on in that game, mate. Just obviously watching injury, origin backups. Anything in that one for you?
That'll be the big one. The Titans, not Supercoach relevant really, but I imagine Foles probably goes to 5'8", Brimson to fullback as per the week before.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Doesn't really matter for Supercoach anyway, but
doesn't matter. Yeah,
and then just Jack Howarth on the extended bench for the Storm. But yeah,
if they do that, who's Des Hasler thinking he's fallen outside of me, obviously, but like, what are we doing here? Is Craig Bellamy really going to fucking have a tumble off the bus when he sees that one? Bizarre. Anyway, Saturday, 5:30, Cowboys, Tigers. I think Hammy's going up for that one because he's a serial killer. For the Cowboys, Jackson Paulo, he lands on the Sting. No Tamalolo yet. Purdue at 6 still. Heath Mason at 5'8". Shout out to Tommy Birmingham. Brett Naden on the bench with Jack Bird. Interesting bench there for the Tigers. Obviously, no Lockie Galvin in the side. Heath Mason at 6. Anything you want to touch on in that game, mate?
The only one, mate, with the Galvin is just Latu Fainu. When he gets back from injury, you assume he starts at 5'8", 248K. Could be a sneaky buy. Probably that post-round 15 buy.
It's dual too, isn't he?
No.
Oh, he's not. He's
spanner, 5'8".
He's only 5'8". Yeah, right. Yeah, that is a bit of a spanner. Okay, Saturday, 7:35 from Four Pines. We've got the Manly Seagulls and the Bronx. Manly turbo rested. I repeat, turbo rested. Shout out to the hole in the wall when I found that out. Lehigh moves to fullback. Tommy Talau on the wing. DCE at 7. Alloy at prop. Jazz Tavanga in jersey 13. Burbo on the edge. No Gerbo in this one. Same as no turbo. For the Bronx, Arthur's named at fullback, a move that I actually really like. Cobbo to the Sting, and no Reece Walsh yet. You want to have your fucking song and dance and give me shit about Turbo now, you little prick? Take it away.
I was quite enjoying just hearing you talk about him and get your thoughts on him.
Fuck. So shit.
I mean, for starters, if Will Pensini doesn't go down injured, Turbo scores 17 last week, so you dodged one there, and now he's gone this week, so...
What do you mean if Will Pensini doesn't go down?
Pensini lasted about 5 minutes in that game, and then Turbo got all his try assists down that edge. Straight through it.
Oh, fucking please. Jesus Christ.
How you feeling, though?
That's
right?
the shittest analysis I've ever heard in my entire life. And I've sat next to you for 3 years listening to this bullshit.
One of the best defensive centres in the NRL goes down injured. They get a fullback on debut, come on the wing 3 minutes into a game, and they score their 2 tries in the whole game down that edge. Yeah, that's shit analysis.
Anything on the Broncos? Oh, God, Arthur's at fullback. You want this mic for 30 minutes or what? You might never shut up here.
Hey, I'm not the one that traded Turbo in. Don't turn this...
I'm well aware you didn't, and it worked out for you again. You are one lucky motherfucker.
Because I didn't trade in... I'm lucky because I didn't trade in the most injury-prone player in the
hold
NRL.
on. Let's go back to the start of every season where you tell me he's going to average fucking 300 and 2021's just around the corner. It's never happening again. You don't even have him, but I'm getting fucked by him. It's bullshit. Broncos, anything you want to talk about?
Cat, just play right. Is he sweet?
So pressed.
You're right.
I'm heaps. I don't even know what that means. What does pressed
You're
mean?
mad. You're so mad.
pressed.
Chill.
You're so
She hits me
pressed.
with all this lingo. I don't know what she's saying to me half the time. I have no idea. What is pressed?
I assume depressed.
Does that mean I'm...
No, you're mad. Why are you so mad?
Why do you say pressed?
I don't know. It came out. Relax.
Depressed could have worked there, right?
He's depressed and he's stressed and he's pressed.
Pressed. So pressed is when you're mad?
Can we talk about Turbo?
Cat really underestimates how uncool you are very often.
Sorry, it's how uncool we are. Thank you for fucking Mr. Cool Cat over there, please. Jesus Christ. All right. You want to talk about the Broncos or not? Do you have anything to say?
I've got nothing to add.
Sweet. Unreal. Okay. Sunday, 2 p.m. Rabbitohs Warriors coming to you from a call for the Rabbitohs. There's not much doing here. No big changes for the Wars. Berry at centre, Leotower out. Fish and Barnett return at prop. Capewell and Nia Corday on the edge, which means Lecker goes back to the bench. That one surprised me a little bit, but I thought your forwards really got into him the other day a little
They
bit.
did, but far out, he's been playing some pretty good footy.
Not a move I would have made, but
Nah. I mean, good problem for the Warriors to have, putting someone like Lecker off the bench. So, yeah.
Sorry, I just remembered some context that I remember I didn't provide with the whole Turbo thing. I'm playing Lehigh Opawade in draft this week. He's playing fullback, so that adds to
It
why
makes
I'm
so
a
much
little bit
more sense. You
emotional.
were like,
Yeah,
I need to be angry, but there was a lot going
I
on.
forgot you guys
there.
aren't inside
We
my
don't
head where
live
it's
inside your
screaming
head.
all
Yeah,
the
it's
time.
crazy, right?
Yeah. Mate, the Tude is off the chain with her tonight.
Hey,
It's
Cat Tude
wild.
short for attitude, by the
Yeah,
way.
if you didn't know that.
Probably should pick that.
Boomer. All right, Sunday, 4:05 p.m. Panthers Eels Battle of the West coming here from Combank for the Panthers. Jenkins on the wing, Tungo and McLean at centre, Sorensen on the edge, Summerton on the bench. He's joined by Harrison Hassett, Patea, Eisenhuth. Alamotti's on the extended. He was touch and go to be picked last week. They ended up playing him. I think it was pretty evident he wasn't at his best, so it doesn't surprise me he's not in the side
Is
this
he
week.
injured or dropped?
No, I think he's injured. He was 50-50 to play last week. I think had they not had other problems, he wouldn't have played last week.
I'm a very grateful Tom Jenkins owner.
You should be a very grateful Tom Jenkins owner.
He's playing outside McLean, so he'll have 3 runs and score 13. But on a week where numbers are slim, I'm very happy to see him playing against Parramatta.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if Alamonte plays this week. But we'll see. For the Eels, Kelmer's on the edge and Joash keeps his spot on the bench there. What about your boy Jack Williams? Is he in our stats deep dive or anything like that?
No,
or?
he's not. Let's yarn about him now.
Let's yarn. Now, I've got him in draft. I am a big fan of him this year. He is playing... Well, he's playing like 70 to 75 minutes at the moment. He moves out to the edge to start the game. Jason Riles shocks the world every week and moves him to the edge despite wearing 8. And then when Kelmer comes on, he moves him into the middle. Mate, for me, it's the I drafted him for base stats, but mate, he's breaking tackles at will. He's getting line breaks. His fast feet at the line is causing chaos at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, the Sharky toys, he grew up like when he was a lot younger, to be fair, like as a teenager, played a lot of centre and then sort of transitioned through edge back row and always...
God, he would have been a rugby league handful in the centres. Fuck that.
Mate, basically every NRL player was a star growing up, but when you're growing up in Cooma, he was built like a brick shithouse from day dot, bigger than every kid in the region, which is not difficult by any means in country New South Wales, but he was also fast, strong as an ox, like just destroyed teams. It was great to view, but did it playing centre as a young fella.
I mean this not in like an arrogant way, but Jack Williams looks to me as a kid that would have had a big head. He looks like he would have grown into his head for me.
Yeah, like just a
bit of
physically
Hey Arnold
big head,
about
not
him, like a physically big head.
Yeah. Yeah, big boy.
Yeah, the headgear strap would have been doing overtime.
Yeah, but to tie it back in, he's got speeds we've seen in recent weeks, like playing on the edge for the Eels because he's hit a few really nice lines and hit nice holes. He's got that footwork and, yeah, he's really having a lot of effect on the edge. So in regards to a SuperCoach buy, I suppose the only question mark is, do the minutes continue? His numbers have been very good. He had 59 in base on the weekend, which is outstanding. Parramatta's bye coverage is shit, so they don't play the next 2 major bye rounds. Head-to-head players, maybe. I feel like we've been here before with Jack Williams. I know he's at a new club. He's in a leadership role. The minutes are quite good. He's playing big minutes for a big boy. Yeah.
What is there? I know I've just gone through it, obviously. But
I wouldn't be buying him, put it that way. He could be a masterstroke, but I just feel like we've been here before.
Yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't be buying him. I love having him in draft. But I guess the other thing to it, mate, is the bench is Dill Walker, Papali and Ryan Madison, who's pissed in the coach's coffee or something. I don't mind that side of it. But, yeah, I don't think it's enough to buy him.
The signs are pretty good. If he loses minutes and
he's
goes...
still $500K. Like, it's not...
I know.
It's a decent little whack.
And even
take.
He scored a try for line break on the weekend. The week before, he had a really good line break and a bunch of tackle busts. The attacking stats have been there in recent weeks. So, yeah, look, not for me.
When you can spend $100K more and get Keon,
exactly,
he becomes rapidly less appealing.
Who plays the two major buy rounds coming up?
Yeah. All right. Sunday, 6:15 p.m. We got the Roosters and the Durs. For the Roosters, Toya at centre. Mark Nwangani Tawase moves to the wing. For the Raiders, Owen Paddy gets his opportunity at 9. Clear the sketch. Get out of my lounge room. I need some bit of me time. Sunday, 6:15. Ordering a pizza. Leave me to my own devices. I'm very excited.
It's going to be delightful to watch, isn't it? Like
Nick Nack, Owen Paddy Whack.
Yeah. Nice.
Thank you. I've already used that one a few times.
Yeah, I thought so. That's right.
New audience and stuff, maybe. I don't know.
I felt like we would have seen a bit more of him by this point, but Tommy Starling's been so damn good.
Yeah.
Like from a straight rugby league context, prior to Starling getting suspended this week, I was sort of sitting there going, do we need to keep carrying on Paddy on the bench? Because he's playing like 10 minutes a game, wasting a spot there. Obviously, he covers number 9 for us if Starling goes down. And, you know, when he comes on for his 10-minute stint, sometimes Starling even goes to 13, but hasn't been getting much time. But cannot wait to see him as a starter this week. Purely SuperCoach perspective, I'd be a little nervous if I was a Starlo owner like you are, Guru, just because if he kills it, which is every chance because he's a weapon, not that he's going to, I think, take the starting role because Starlo's been so good, but could easily start eating into a few more minutes if he impresses.
Now, just as a little tip for our audience, if you're looking for a little wager to have this week, and the betting market's in there somewhere, but shout out to Ned's, I can never find anything within 15 minutes of looking at a market. Can you still bet on a guy to kick a 40-20 to be kicked in a game?
Nah, I haven't seen it in a while. Someone might offer, but I don't believe.
You reckon it's Gonski?
I feel like you can bet on there to be a 40-20 kicked, but you can't. I don't think you can bet on,
I think it's.
You just bet on,
I think you get about $3 for it from memory. If there was to be a betting market for it, this is the one I don't mind. If you were able to bet on individuals to hit 40-20s, I would be happy to take this one because the kid is going to hit a lot throughout his career. So
absolute arrows, yeah?
Yeah, absolute arrows, little absolute jars, cats. So a little something to watch there. Now, the bye round this week, shout out to them next door, the Bulldogs, the Dolphins, and the Cronulla Sharks. All right, we have got NRL Physio, who, I mean, they're out with the pitchforks for Fizz. One of the nicest guys in the space. You're all coming for him. You're all calling him names, yelling at him. I think it's well-deserved, personally. Gave me a bit of shit about going home early on Magic Round. You left before me, but that's fine. We'll let it go.
It's like come at us and, you know, say, Tim, you're a spud. Why did you get in Tracy? He was never by. You're an idiot. Why didn't you get Luke's in, etc. But one of the nicest guys in the game, NRL Physio, I agree, Roo. There should be more blasphemy thrown his way. Give it to him and let him have it because he's
You are
us.
a spud.
Yeah, well.
You are a spud.
Thank you.
Let's bring in Physio.
Yeah, let's bring in Fizz.
All right, fellas, SuperCoach relevant injuries for this week. Straight off the bat, Guru, got to say thanks for the super yacht that you sent up. Dylan's Hattie, nice name. During the week, I was happy to lead Timmy down the garden path with Dylan Lucas. But I think the 60-footer might be a bit big, so we might have to look at trading it in for the 40-footer. No, but I will say apologies to Timmy and anybody who missed out on Dylan Lucas after our injury chat last week. And Timmy, I'm sure this will make you feel even better, but I'm still pretty happy with the call on his shoulder. I know, look, your head was probably in your hands when he was scoring that third try in 23 minutes. But he did throw his shoulder out again as he scored that third try. So, look, obviously a really good hold and probably a good buy in terms of his performance, his ceiling. You know, it's probably higher than any of us expected. But yeah, it still doesn't come without injury risk. We saw the shoulder go out again. So yeah, just something to monitor. It's not all about injury. Performance comes into it as well. But yeah, he's still got that shoulder there. A bit of a ticking time bomb scenario, I'd say. A ticking time bomb, a bit like how we talk about this next guy, Tom Trbojevic. He's been ruled out with that cork. Look, I was down on him on here last week. I was definitely a bit more hopeful when we got the news about the cork sort of towards the end of last week. I thought, look, a cork, usually something you can get over in 2 to 3 weeks. Look, I mean, we're now 5 weeks post-injury, so I'm a bit dubious about what's going on here because 5 weeks post-injury, he's had a bye in there. It is a long time for a cork to affect someone, so there might be some silly buggers going on from Manly, who knows? But I think we have to focus on it as if they're telling the truth, I guess. So if you are an owner, you're a buyer from last week, and I know, Guru, you were one. Look, you can look at it as long as you've got the numbers to cover for this week. It is a positive in a way that he's having a week off because it gives that theoretical cork a week to settle down. He should be coming back next week performing better. One of the best things for injuries like this is rest from aggravation. So if you look at it from that perspective, provided you didn't absolutely need Turbo to play this week, it can be spun as a bit of a positive, I guess. But overall, for anybody who is looking to buy over the next couple of weeks, I'm sure you're really put off at this point in time. I'll just go back to what I said last week, which is we need to see it from him. We need to see it, like I need to see him go out and brain a game. You might miss that game. So, if you're someone who's going to buy, you might miss out on the 100 points that he scores against whoever in 2 or 3 weeks' time. But I think you need to see that before you're jumping on him again with all this complication around the cork. And is it not? Yeah, we don't know. So, yeah, definitely need to see it first. And then, Timmy, you had some questions about Euan Aitken and his injury history. Look, if we were back in like 2018, 2019, he had a run of hamstring injuries that he needed an injection, an epidural injection in his back for. There were definitely concerns there for ongoing injury risk. But he hasn't had any concerns with that over the last 3 to 4 years. And then the ones last year, a pec tear and then a shoulder reconstruction. The shoulder reco was something he was already playing through. And then he had the pec rupture, which they're not really related. They're just kind of footy injuries. They happen to everyone. So yeah, look, I'm not really concerned with him. I think he's a good buy this week. And then for those looking at Tui Pilotu, I know I'm one of them for this week. We have to buy, if you are going to buy, with the acceptance that the re-injury risk in those first 2 weeks sits at about 10 to 12%. Typically, it does come down to about 5 to 6% after those first 2 weeks. But the consideration with Tui Pilotu is his is going to be a little bit elevated from that because of his history. This is his second significant hamstring injury of the year. So yeah, just those first 2 weeks are your real red zone kind of areas where if you can afford to wait till after those 2 weeks, that re-injury risk does drop significantly. But I think with the upside and his low break even, I might be taking the risk. So we'll see how that goes. And then look, Origin backing up, they've all been named so far, it seems, pretty much. So I think it's going to highly depend on how they all get through tomorrow night. I think someone like Stephen Crichton and then Payne Haas, probably more relevant from a SuperCoach perspective. Yeah, he's a real 50-50. It'll depend how many minutes he has to play tomorrow night. Does he aggravate the injury? All those kind of complications that could arise. At the moment, for me, if he doesn't back up, I'll probably trade him out because I think he just will miss too much footy over the next little bit. But otherwise, guys, yeah, hopefully a few pearlers in there this week. If you want more information like this, Magic Sponge podcast, check it out. It's out there now, and we'll talk next week.
I sat here a week ago, and it potentially ended my season.
Mm. Oh, God, you are the absolute king of fucking carry-on. The absolute king of carry-on. You've had one bad week in 12. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Back me up here.
Yeah.
If I'm the king of carry-on, we've got our Lord and Saviour to my right.
Ended my season. You've had a bad week and you're ranked 2,000th. What on earth are you talking about? My God.
Let me rephrase.
What a martyr of SuperCoach.
I am a martyr, I know.
Fucking
Let
hell,
me
it's
rephrase.
Unbelievable. Yeah, here we go.
My chances of winning it.
Let me rephrase. You had a bad week. You'll be okay.
But I was a
You'll
sniff
be
last
right.
week. Now I feel like.
Am I allowed to say that you both just carry on?
Sure, but that was it. And I do a lot of outrageous carrying on, but that was at the top echelon.
I've been hanging out with you too long, mate.
Now, on that note, shout out to Physio for telling me that fucking Turbo not playing is a blessing for me. What the fuck is that? Please.
That is a sense of hope.
It's like I had a car accident with one car. I was like, at least you didn't have one with two. What are you talking about?
He was like being the lovely man that he is. He was trying to be nice to us. Like,
feel better.
No, I'm not in the be nice business. No, thank
Oh,
you.
Dylan Lucas, like we sat here a week ago. Fizz has basically doubled down on the shoulder. Well, he mentioned that we all saw it when he scored his third try and the shoulder popped out. I was actually drowning in tears, so my vision was quite blurry. I missed it. But
I missed it too, to be honest with you.
yeah.
I think he's a must-have. I think he's been a must-have all year.
I think so.
I think you have to get him.
He's just so very good. I mean, like saying, started the year with him, went great, injured. I think he's so fucking good.
He's gone below 63 once.
I know.
That's insane for a CTW. I think he's a must-have guy. Plays round 15, the next major buy round. Yeah, I think you just have to bite the bullet and get him in.
And Euan Aitken segues into.
Just on Lucas too. Like, I know you're paying a lot more than what you'd like, but mate, for what you're getting, $740K is not too bad.
He's worth it.
It's worth it. Yeah, like it's not like if he was $850, I'm going, oh fuck, that sucks. Like $740, it's not the end of the world. Segues into. You want to segue into?
Oh no, are we up to stat deep dive yet or not?
No, we're not up to stat deep dive. I don't think.
It doesn't segue into anything.
Doesn't segue into anything. We'll get to that very soon. Sorry about that, guys. But shout out to Physio. Go check out his podcast. Doing great things as always. Blue Wealth Property. 3rd of June via webinar, how to build your property portfolio. Define your financial goals and learn from Blue Wealth the secret to building a portfolio of properties that will help you achieve financial freedom. Over 30% of Blue Wealth clients have been able to invest in 2 or more properties thanks to working with our team. Tune in to find out more. Over 30%, Timmy, that's more than 1 in 3.
That is an remarkable number. Yeah,
it is a pretty big number. It is a damn big number. 30%.
It's crazy.
That's huge. That's half the amount of people in the top 1%. That's double the amount of people in the top 1% we convinced to get on Connor Tracy and ruin their season. That's pretty impressive numbers. That's movement. Now, what do you got in your little filthy little paws there, my friend?
We haven't showed this one off yet, mate.
We haven't.
Often doesn't take us long, but here's some break-evens. Blue Wealth Property Brand Ambassador Award 2024.
Yeah, now, if you are a podcast listener, you won't know what we're talking about, but rest assured, it's invisible anyway, so you probably can't see it even if you're on YouTube. A glass trophy that we got from Beers and Breakevens for being brand ambassadors. That not only the best brand ambassadors in 2024. And I'll tell you what, when you looked around the room at other brand ambassadors, there were some big swinging dicks in that room, and we took it home.
We were number one. So
fuck yeah, how good's that? Reckon we can go back to back? I know you're not one for winning anything, let alone going back to back, but do you think we can? I go back to back in my sleep, but I go back to back to back.
What a drive.
Puts a bit of pressure on Tony and Maltz, actually.
What does?
If because I think once you win the first one, especially when it's like an award ceremony, there's no like points involved and stuff. Like sometimes you have to go to a new level to be able to go back to back, and they'll tend to give it to someone else, like LeBron with MVP.
He's not getting 2 in a row,
like it becomes harder. So I just I look around at some of the other guys that are in the room that night, some of the greatest in Australia. That I just think, fuck, like will they just give it to one of those guys because we're at such a high level already?
Basically, we've got work to do. So if you're sitting there and you're wanting to build your property portfolio and join that 30%, make that 30%, 33%, an actual third, then make the call. Help us out.
A baker's third. Yeah, it's good to see. Now, I just made that up.
We know.
We know. Completely made that up. The link is in the description, so go check it out. And we've also got an email address. So if you're more of an email kind of guy or gal, beers@bluewealth.com.au. The @ is one of those curly ones. That's also in the description, so you can copy paste that. I've been really impressed by how many Beers and Breakevens people just prefer the email approach, just sending it straight. Tony suggested, I said, mate, I don't know about it, but it's worked bloody well, and Tony's rubbed it in my face every time since. So always good to get humbled.
Old school.
Yeah, very old school. I love to see it. It's good to see. So how to build your property portfolio, the 3rd of June. That one's via webinar, so go and check that one out. And then send an email to beers@bluewealth.com.au if you just want to reach out for a question or book something in with Blue Wealth. All right, let's have a look at the Beers and Breakevens League, which is obviously closed now, doing good things. The guy with the top point scorer this week was the Northern Rhino Rhinos, which is coached by Shane. Now, he scored 1,189. Whilst you're doing that, Kat, can you just get the league up so we can just have a chat about who's actually leading that and where we're at?
Yeah.
Now, his 1,189, very good knock on a bye week. Went up 12,000 spots to 11,000, so not a sniper as well, which I love to see.
Flying.
That's fucking unreal. Congratulations to you, Shane. Send us an email, beersandbreakevens@gmail.com. We have got all your emails. We are sorting out some hats for you guys. That's going to be a next week job for us, Catman Do. A little trip to you know where. A little excursion, I say.
Your favourite person.
My favourite person. Shout out Shirley. Big fan. We'll be going over there to get that sorted. We might even indulge in a Vietnamese roll over there. I know
Don't
a good place.
spoil me.
Well, you never know. You're a very yucky. I went to say lucky young lady. Instead, I called her yucky, which was the opposite of what I attempted to do there.
Actually, very rude.
Heaps rude.
Yeah,
Heaps rude.
I could do a walkout right now.
You could. Now, Yucky, tell me who's leading the comp and whatnot. Who's doing well overall?
So we have Money's Groin, coached by Trent, who is in the lead with 15,955
What's
overall
Trent's team
points.
name?
Money's Groin.
Mad.
It's actually mad. And he's got dollar signs too.
Of course he does.
So Money's Groin is 5th overall.
Nice.
That is the top.
Where are the
ranked.
other guys ranked?
We've got
list?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, a few on 13, 15, 20, 21, 22.
We've got
goes on.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's cool.
Yep, we do.
Shout out to those elitists in the top 5 that have made a real dumb decision. Idiots.
Work to do.
I'd love to give it to someone that finishes like 5th. That'd be unreal.
I agree.
That'd be real good. Good
Or
gear.
like 37,000.
One for the Batload. You reckon you're going to get it?
The wild card.
A huge wild card. So, yes, Shane, mate, thank you, brother, for scoring well. I don't know where I was going with that. Send us an email, beersandbreakevens@gmail.com. Put your address in it. All right. Are you done giggling? Because I need you for this.
I know you do.
Timmy, stat,
Deep dive.
We are we are kicking off.
You're right.
I'm not sweet tonight.
You're not. You haven't been since the get-go.
I've got my 8-year-old stutter back again. We're going to tip off with EA, Euan Aitken. It's in the game. Talk to me.
Yeah, has my interest, has plenty of interest actually. I think he's about the 5th most traded-in player this week. 534k, dual 2RF CT dub positioning. 3 80-minute games on the edge this year, mate. 72.3 average for the season. For those 3 games. In those games, he has a base of 59 points per game. Exceptional. The Bunnies play the next 2 major buy-ins in round 15 and 18. As an 80-minute man at the Dolphins last season, he averaged 60 points per game in 15 games, only 2 tries in that time, and a tick over 50 in base. I asked Fizz for the vid this week to talk about Euan Aitken and that injury history because it scared me off.
Yeah.
But he was pretty reassured that none of those soft tissue injuries had happened since about 2019, he said. So I'm interested.
Yep. Now, I need to have a little moment of accountability here because a good friend of the show, a friend of ours, dare I say a family member, Steve Hebner, earlier in our draft season, he traded Jamie Humphries away. And halfbacks are pretty hard to find in deep leagues. He traded him for Euan Aitken. And I said to Steve, I think you've made a really dumb mistake there. I think letting go of a halfback. You remember at the start of the year, Jamie was killing it.
Yeah.
I think he's nailed it. I think he's won the trade.
What, was it when Humphries got injured?
It was the week before Humphries. He traded him away, then Humphries got injured. And we were still waiting for Aitken to come back. He was 3 or 4 weeks away. But Aitken, since returning,
jeez,
especially when he's actually played in the back row, he's gone 64, 66, 87. So me and Steve, we're no strangers to having a little lovers tiff, and we had another one this week, but we sorted it out. We're good. But I do need to swallow a bit of pride, take some accountability.
Is there anyone in your life you don't have lovers tiffs with? Is it a show that you do love?
It's a show that I'm honest and I appreciate you.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Steve. You won the trade. I was wrong. It kills me to say it. That'll probably be his ringtone now. Motherfucker.
Are you about classic or you?
No, I just like people to know that I take accountability, and that's why I think Euan Aitken is a great buy. I'm very interested. He's not a guy I was looking at. I was looking at trading in a CTW by the name of Mark Nawangeni Tawase. You're probably not going to get him confused with anyone. But I'm very, very intrigued by Euan Aitken now.
Yeah. You've been
534k dual position. Wow.
Especially for the 170,000 Dylan Lucas owners out there who can just like interchange the two of them as well.
That's huge. Yeah, that's very appealing.
Yeah. So looks good.
Honestly, the stats deep dive has just started and you might have already convinced me.
I'll be honest. It goes downhill from here. My stats aren't the best this week.
I think it's a hard week, personally. I
Yeah.
don't think there's too many great options out there.
Thanks.
But I think Euan Aitken. So I think there'll be a lot of people this week that'll be trading in a double South Sydney, Euan Aitken and Keon. We still on the Keon train?
Yeah, we'll get to my trade shortly, but absolutely. Like it's not much more.
I think it's a bit of a
He's beast in the
no-brainer.
middle, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, who's your the next person is Kyle McCarthy. Sort of come from the clouds a little bit, but I really like the look at this kid.
Yeah, so
He's rangy.
I'll rattle off a few numbers and then I'll actually throw back to you for your thoughts on him, mate. But 246k and -7 break-even. Scored 51 in Bathurst. He had 46 in base playing centre. 17 tackles, 19 runs. Mate, just for one, for people looking to free up cash to facilitate trades elsewhere, I think job security is pretty good. Still no Greg Margie, but I'd imagine he comes in on the wing for Fletcher Hunt.
Yeah.
Brabham Bess out for a while. I feel like, at least for the time being,
How much longer is Best out for? He missed the Parramatta game, didn't he?
wasn't it long term? It was pretty bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it ended up being. I thought it might have turned out to be a little bit shorter than what it was. But, I mean, with Bradman Best, like you don't want to rush him back.
But, yeah, look, I mean, he's got the no buy until round 8. Oh, it's got round 15.
Yeah, he's not that far away.
So it got down, because initially they feared it was really bad.
Said Bradman Best injured his right hamstring during training last week and is expected to be out for 3 to 4 weeks. And that was on the 19th of May, so that was already almost 2 weeks ago. So he's not that far away. That's the only thing.
Okay.
And I think that once he's back there, obviously he's
fair.
So.
That'll rattle the spy because he was pretty keen on him as well. I was talking on the best news of being out a bit longer, but probably enough to steer clear then, I think.
Yeah. Let's talk about Katoga, the nice guy. What do you got on him?
Mate, have you seen his supercoach numbers?
Yeah, I'm a little bit dirty. I drafted him this year, last pick, and then let him go because I was like, I just don't know if defensively he's up to it. But Riles is just backing him in, and I imagine his attacking stats must be pretty fucking high. Bro, he offloads every time he's got the football.
Mate, not even his attack. He's averaging 52 points for the season. He's made 273 grand. He has a 3-round average of 71 with 50 in base. He's owned by 1.3% of top-ranked teams. I mean, obviously you're not buying him now, but for anyone in that 1.3% who jumped on, like, he's the one that got away. He's been exceptional.
Those scores are wild.
I know.
Fuck. And he's the only... Yeah, and I mean... You could throw a dart out a window at Parramatta and hit a forward that Jason Riles doesn't trust. It's wild to me that this is the guy he does.
Well, and that's why we didn't get him, right? Because, well, 2 reasons. Firstly, job security we thought he was never there. But even as he sort of started coming into his own and half locked down that position, there was a game against the Tigers prior to a bye. He scored 19 points in 80 minutes with 23 in base. But that one game, that was the complete outlier this season, especially as an 80-minute player. So
was there any reasoning for that?
I can't remember.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 43, 78, 67, 67. I mean, I still think he will remain the one that got away. I'm not spending 500K on him.
No way.
But, yeah, an interesting talking point. That's huge. All right, our next man on the list is Luciano Leilua. Obviously, he's got a little bit of an uptick off the back of the Dylan Egan injury. I think Luciano Leilua, mate, probably over the last 3 years, I'd say, from Cowboys to Dragons, I think he's been one of the great mirages of all time. But talk me around if you can.
Nah, I'm going to say exactly that.
Okay, good.
Because I just sort of thought, at the start of the year, I was like, all right, Luciano, full preseason under his belt. We know what he's capable of. He's got a great offload on him, plenty of attack in him, and the attacking stats will come. And even at the Cows, like his base was okay, like not terrible. Dragons play round 15 and round 18, the next 2 major buy rounds, and I went, all right, Egan's gone. Luciano should be discounted, having played less minutes as a result. I would assume now he probably goes back to an 80-minute edge roll. May not, but one would assume. So I went and had a look at him. 397K, I went, sweet. Cheap as, buy coverage. Had a deep look into him. In 57 minutes per game, averaging this season, 28 in base, which is terrible. Averaging less than one offload per game. This is Luciano Leilua. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, did he not have one of the best offloads in the game a couple of years ago?
Yeah, mate, when he was a junior coming through, like, do you remember when he was playing for the Dragons in, like, Toyota Cup and shit? Like, he was as big as a house, but he would just offload. At will. Like, almost too much. It was SuperCoach perfection.
And then, like, at the Cowboys, there were games, more often than not, he'd base sort of 40 to mid-40s and often as high as 50. It's just gone out the window at the Jays. Maybe it's just their style. I don't know exactly, but... Yeah, I was a bit disappointed because I was thinking I might be on something. I'm like, no, the stats are awful.
It's weird though because like when he is on the field for them, I think you can tell in the way they use him in certain plays that Flano obviously likes seeing him move the football.
He ball plays a lot on that edge for like Val.
He's had 10 games this year. He's had 8 offloads.
Yep.
There's just nothing doing.
How is that a thing?
Yeah, it's wild. As I said, he's one of the great mirages of all time. He's so much more talented than what he puts out in the SuperCoach, but I think this is just him, mate. There was a few years ago in draft, I held on to him for like 12 weeks, and he got back, and I got 3 weeks in and thought, what the fuck have I done here?
And it's, for the record, it's no knock on his actual NRL. It's just his SuperCoach
mad football
game
player,
is
gone.
Gone.
That was pretty.
That was ordinary.
As the kids would say, mid.
Oh, God.
You can't say mid and then you say,
I say mid because she says mid.
She says mid.
She says mid.
She says mid.
But yeah, anyway, only 4 on the deep dive this week, but it's Origin week, mate. There's a bit going on.
Yeah, there is not much doing there. Okay, trades and El Capitanos. Are we all on the Keon train?
No.
Oh, you're not?
I have to pay $740K for Dylan Lucas, so I can't get both in 1 week unless I boost, which I'm not going to.
I like that. Fantastic. Are you getting Dylan Lucas this week too, Kat?
I'm going to try to, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll go first then. I am going to trade in Keon. I think he's a must-have when he's playing front row. I'm hoping he doesn't get an Origin call-up anytime soon. If the Blues win, he probably won't. So fingers crossed we're good there. I'm going to bring in Keon. I'm feeling good about that. I love him in the front row. And then my other one I was going to go Mark Nawanga-Nitawase, and I haven't ruled out doing that. But as per usual, in the Timmy stats deep dive, Euan Aitken has really caught my attention, and I am very, very interested. So it will be Euan Aitken or Nawanga-Nitawase I bring in. My thoughts are Nawanga-Nitawase is getting attacking stats every single week, and he's scoring a few more than Euan Aitken is when Aitken's not getting attacking stats. So I'm leaning towards Aitken, but the daredevil dude inside me is screaming, get Marky Mark into your football team. I've tried to do it on a handful of occasions this year.
You've been trying for a while.
Every time something happens. And the only time I traded him and he got ruled out that week, and I had to fucking backflip on that. So it'll be one of those two for me. I will sit and ponder on it, but I'm probably now leaning towards Aitken at the moment. And that duel is a delicious little duel. What's South Sydney's? Are they...
It's bad, their run.
Yeah.
Like but, I mean, he's a forward with big base. Their run is Warriors this week in Sydney. Then it's the Raiders in Canberra. Then they play the Doggies. That's on the Origin week, so they'll be missing Crichton, maybe Kurt Mann, maybe Matt Burton. But
mate, tough matchups. I don't mind that for Aitken.
Just like
get through a heap of work.
It's not it's not
good.
Back.
And more importantly, what I was going to say is he plays 15 and 18.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, bye period draw's great.
Yeah. So, yes, I think the Roosters have got 2 buys in the next few weeks from memory.
Yeah, 14 and 17, which are the 2 full game weeks. So it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got to break even to 56. So if I wanted to get Nawanga-Nitawase in 2 weeks' time, I probably could realistically. So, I'll probably wait till after that bye week to talk about getting Nawanga-Nitawase again, then not buy him for the 7th time this year. But I'm heavily leaning towards Euan Aitken this week. What are you thinking?
Marky Mark, with the way you're putting this off, there's 150 around the corner, isn't there?
No, don't score 150 for my draft. Eh?
For myself, I'm a little torn, but I think I'm just going to bite the bullet, get Dylan Lucas in, shoulder will pop out 2 minutes in, everyone will laugh at me, ha. We'll make some good content out of it, we'll all have fun. But I just think I have to get him in. He looks too good.
Yep.
So him probably for Dylan Egan. This is where it gets a little interesting. I can move like Connor Tracy down to Euan Aitken. So I want Aitken. I said I'm just short of doing those trades and getting Koloamatangi instead of Aitken and doing those in one hit. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if the mole could get his mail right and post again this week that Dill Lucas is out, that would be wonderful.
Don't hold your breath.
No. But Tracy, did you say it's selling or holding Tracy?
I'm at the moment. I'm looking into if there's other avenues that I could take to do it. Like if I can if I've got the money to go Thomas Cairns to him, I would consider doing that. I'm just working out if I can do that or not. But yeah, I think it's more likely that I would have to go via Connor Tracy, which I don't love, to be honest with you. I kind of like that everyone's shitting on him now and everyone's bagging him, and I'm just going to ride it into the sunset
with him. It gets the stubborn mule out in you, doesn't it? Where you just want to go, screw you.
That mule is strong in me.
I know it is. I've got it too, mate. And I'm just like, do you swallow your pride? I'm just like, oh. Like he still plays round 15 and 18. Their draw's very good.
I can make Cant Aitken work. I'm probably leaning towards that. I'm going to hold Connor Tracy.
Do that in a
now.
heartbeat. Like, Tracy's also on the bye. You can still sell him next week if you want. I don't have too many luxuries in that regard, so I need to work it out. But it could be a Tracy to Aitken and then an Egan to who did I say? Dill Lucas. So.
Yeah, okay. That is going to be me. That's what I'll be doing as it stands right now. I will be going Vimalga. Fuck, it's been fun, bro. Cheers for that 12 weeks to Keon, and then I'll be going.
How's that for a trade?
Yeah, it's good gear. And then I'll be going Thomas Cant to Aitken is my play at the moment. So I got both of my CTW jewels in my 2RF at the moment, but we'll move them up there over the next couple of weeks. What are you thinking?
Well, I just made them before. I did. I'm the feeling that you have about Connor Tracy, how you have to potentially hold on to him. I don't feel that at all. I'm quite willing to get rid of him. Connor Tracy and Vaimorga to Dylan Lucas and Keon Koloamatangi.
Yeah, I like that. Very good.
Still with 50K in the bank. So
when the Tracy train leaves the station in 7 days' time, and you're left at the station and me and Timmy are riding away to 100.
Grin on your face.
I've seen this before. I've seen when someone dogs the crew and runs away.
I'm not dogging the crew. I'm not dogging any crew.
I think we had like a Blood Brothers thing going on here. We were in this together. We were in this together. And I think there's been a little bit of public scrutiny. Okay. I think it's the first time you've copped it from the Beers and Breakevens community. And I think you've hit the frog and toad.
You don't know how thick my skin is. Well, the things I deal with.
Thinner this week, my friend, I think.
I want to sell Connor Tracy for obvious scoring reasons, but I'm like, we did this together, roost sticking.
Yeah. You were the first before we hit record on these cameras to jump off Connor Tracy train.
Prove it.
Oh, now you're going to support him,
I've got his back. We're in it together. We're on the Tracy train.
Very interesting. Well, guys, I'm going to get Dylan Lucas and Keon Koloamatangi into my team, and I will do that however I need to.
How much cash do you have left?
With those two trades, I have 50K left.
Okay, and there's no way you can do it without, like you have to trade.
I can definitely sell someone else. It's just I'm more a fan of the other players that I have in my team at the moment.
How many boosts you got left? You got 3 at the moment?
I have 3. No, I have 3.
3. There's probably no other moves that you would advise for Cat this week, is there?
No, they're great moves. If I could do that in 2 hits, I would as well.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just checking it now, but I think I'm like 20K short of doing the same moves essentially.
Yeah, right. Okay. So next week, it'll just be you and me with Tracy.
I'm not locked in. My point is that I want...
Fuck, you had me convinced you were locked in. You sound pretty...
But
you sounded very on top of the world there.
I think you're focusing on the wrong part of what I said. Okay. I'm going to get Dylan Lucas and I'm going to get Keon into my team. And at first glance, it was easier to get rid of Tracy and Vaimorga. Like it just... They're right there.
Yeah.
I had the money to do it. It doesn't mean that I have to go that route. It's just that it was the easiest. Okay. I am open to reconsidering the direction that I go.
Sweet. I'm keen to see how it plays out with that
so
one.
So am
I. All right. Sit v Starts. They pretty much take care of themselves this weekend, don't they?
Yep.
All right. Let's talk about Capitanos.
Well, no. Leading into captains, but yeah. I think the majority are going to have a near free VC loop this week.
Yeah, I'd say without a doubt. Yeah. What are you thinking captain-wise, Timbo?
I think it is pretty straightforward for me, and there's a few options, but I think you're as mad as a hatter if you don't have a VC on Ryan Pappenhausen against the Titans on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, he doesn't make the cut in my squad, but yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, we're back into the Ryan Pappenhausen nightmare
We
again.
are too. You don't have him.
That's
No, I don't.
awesome.
Who do you have in that slot?
Oh, Tom Trbojevic, heard of him. Thank God he's out though, Fizz. Fucking mad. Cheers, bro.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing. It's a great thing. It's mad I don't have a great captain option.
I
hate teams that play Brisbane.
Oh, that gets me so excited. VC Pap, and then into SC. I think the game after, mate, Terrell May, he's just got angry in there and he's unleashing it on the Cowboys. I think Terrell May captain.
Terrell May. Okay.
Look at the Tigers bench. I think he gets 70 to 80 minutes again, you'd imagine.
Yeah.
65. We saw he had like 92 in base or something in that game 2 weeks ago prior to the bye. He's out there to prove a point, win, lose or draw for the Blues. And yeah, I just think it's the play.
Do you reckon Tigers win that?
I've gone them to win in a tight one on bloke in a bar. Yeah, Cowboys got a lot backing up from Origin. Tigers off the bye. I have.
Yeah, okay.
No confidence, but
Well, to be honest with you, I was looking at VC in the same game, but I was looking at Drinkwater. Cowboys at home. He's the only one, the only one of their big guys not playing Origin and whatnot.
I like the VC. I'm still pretty freaking scarred from that 14 a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's very fair. That's going to take a while to get over that sort of shit.
I don't think you
Flashbacks
ever
and
do
stuff.
get over those.
No, that was sit in the shower kind of areas, avoid mirrors.
Yeah.
That was fucked up. But I think I'll be VCing Drinky. If I had Pappenhausen, which I don't because I'm a grown man, I would be having the VC on him. But I'm going to go Drinky into a captain. It's tough.
Nath, you boy?
Yeah, probably Nath. Probably is the play, I think. Just having a look at my other options. There really isn't much else doing. So, yeah. What about not Teddy against the Raiders? Jaden Campbell against the Storm scares the shit out of me. Yeah, I think it probably is Nath.
I like it. My own, and this has been a bit, cautious, but just the 4-day back up from a big Origin game. His hammies haven't had the best run of late, but, matchup wise, I think if they win Origin, he'll be pumped up. If they lose Origin, he'll be angry. I think he goes big against Para.
What are we thinking as far as sorry, I'm completely off topic here. I was just thinking about it out loud. The Parramatta Eels, they've got 2 buys in the next 4 weeks or whatever. Both those buys are Origin weeks. Zach Lomax wouldn't be playing in those games anyway.
Lomax is a buy.
He's 720. He's 728k.
He's a great buy. And because of Origin, it'll scare people off. But I think he'll back up for Para because they need him to. He's also a winger. He'll want to. Missed a good chunk of the season already for his new club. So I reckon he'll back up from all the Origin games, barring obviously Knox. I think he's a great buy. 43 break. He's also his 43 break even. He can go bang bang with a couple of tons before you know it. He's 800k. No one can get him. Then he's missing some Origin games. So I think he's a great buy.
Yeah, I really like it. I don't think I can make it work, especially because I used all my boost in the first 4 weeks. But I would love to do that. If I was you, I'd have a look in. I don't know if you have the cash to do it, but
We have a Dylan Lucas size hole in our roster.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's true. But before I got Dylan Lucas, do you want to know how much I had in my bank?
How much?
500k.
Yeah, that's fucked. That's impressive though.
I thought you did those trades easy. I've got going into the round 215k in my bank, and I couldn't squeeze those in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a world where you could look at going Zach Lomax over Dylan Lucas? Or do you just think Lucas is just too consistent, too much going on to...
I could, of course.
It's the fear of falling behind.
That correct. I just don't think he's worth it, except for that shout out for his injury concern. I just don't think it's worth the antipod. The dual position is a big one as well. To be able to go between CTW and 2R is awesome, especially if I'm getting Euan Aitken. Mate, he looks great.
Can I rephrase my question then?
Yeah.
If Lucas scored 60 on the weekend, which was a good solid score, do you think people are still rushing to Lucas over Lomax?
No way. Off what Physio told us about last week and again this week doubling down, if Lucas didn't go 147 and he scored even 80 or 90, I'm like, okay, I can go against him. 147 hurts a man, Roo.
I know it does, but The Newcastle Knights have played 2 good games in the last month. Both have been against depleted teams.
Yeah, but he went awesome when they were going crap against whoever. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy to have Dill Lucas, but I think you might be getting a little distracted by that big 150 that's rattled you a little bit. Like
A little bit.
Mate, like Lomax could score 150 3 weeks in a row. Tell me Dill Lucas, like that 150 is going to be an outlier.
But even like Lucas, 147 last week. The week before he got 46. He played centre. Before that, 90, 89, 63. That was probably at centre. I think it was. 97, 75. Mate, his numbers are huge.
His numbers are huge. Yeah, I think that people are going Lucas over Lomax because they're scared of that big score last weekend, but I think Lomax has got the much higher ceiling in general.
He does. But yeah, like Lucas also covers the next major buy round. No threat of not backing up from Origin. So
But he has also got this injury concern that Physio's pointing out.
Don't get him.
I know. Look, I've got Lucas and I'm happy to have him. Yeah, I get
You're
it.
happy that
I know it's
don't.
easy. It's easy for me to say. If you traded in Lomax, I'd be more scared than if you traded in Lucas, personally. I'm being genuine with that because I think that Lomax week to week has the higher potential to go.
Yeah, but I know you always say you're not competing against everyone else. You're competing against me. I'm competing against 170,000 other people.
Yeah, well, sure. I think it's a little bit of a foregone conclusion to go Lucas over Lomax. I think Lomax holds a really good argument in there that I think people should consider. But, yeah, that's just my 2 cents. And you've got it for free and you can thank me later for it. And if I had Zach Lomax in my team as a pod, I would seriously be considering him as a massive pod captain this week on that right edge against Penrith left edge. I'd be seriously considering it.
Why don't you just get him?
Because I can't. I've got other things I got to get in. Euan, could I get him? No, I don't think I can afford to get him.
You're going Valmunga to Keon. You've got money. All right, same argument. You just said Dylan Lucas and his ceiling or that. Dylan Lucas has a bigger ceiling than Keon. Why don't you go Lomax instead of Keon?
Because I want to get Keon in the front row. I'm happy to have the conversation about going.
You can't get Keon in the front row.
No, but sorry, I want Keon in my team. I think he's going to do well. The argument is, do I go Lomax over Aitken? Which I'm happy to. If I can make that work, I'm very interested in having a look at that conversation. Give me a second. If I was to go,
well, you could. Because you could go like, surely you could go Cant to Keon and then go like Tracy or something. Tracy to Lomax.
Yeah. Leave it with me. If I can make it work, because I think Lomax is going to be a fucking fantastic buy. I don't think I'm going to have the money to do it. I could be wrong here, but I don't think I'm going to have the money to do it. So you're saying that I should go, to be able to do it, I'll have to trade out Connor Tracy.
Tracy and Cant out.
So Tracy out and Tom Cant. Sweet.
You could nearly do that and then do it, couldn't you? It'd be close.
And then I want to trade in Lomax and...
Cant's dropped a bit, hasn't he?
Lomax, yep. I should be able to get there. Keon. Yep, I can do it. Okay.
Oh.
Another
But
contender.
it's not a big deal when you want to trade out Connor Tracy. Not a big deal when you want to trade him out.
If there's options,
not a big deal when you're checking your options.
Great, I get to own Connor Tracy by myself.
So I can. There is a world where I can get Zach Lomax in. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Very,
talk a big
very
talk,
interesting.
Mate, so.
Okay. Well,
can't wait to see what Connor Tracy does next week.
Stay tuned. A lot of spitefulness in the room tonight, and I don't love it. And I think that we all need to put this shit aside because when people are listening, it is Origin Day. We need to get our shit together.
Yeah. We need to unite again.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're not wrong.
So let's just settle the fuck down. Now, stay tuned after Origin. We'll let you know exactly what our trades are. I can't imagine yours will change too wildly. I think you're pretty.
Oh, we'll see.
You're in a good spot. I'm pretty confident of that. But yeah, tune in. I'll let the Roo crew know what I'm doing and whatnot. But huge. Blues win tonight by.
I'm so confident.
I know you are.
13 plus.
Whoa.
Give me a score. What do you reckon? Like 24 points, 30 points, 18 points?
32-12.
32-12. Okay. I'm going to go the Blues win by 8.
I was going to say 8 as well.
8. Nice. First try scorer?
Latrell Mitchell.
Yeah, Latrell Mitchell for me.
Brian To'o.
Love that. And Bog.
$26. Angus Crichton.
Oh, I like that.
Running at possibly depends which edge it is, but Jeremiah Nanai and Cherry Evans. Thank you.
I'm going to take the man inside, Mitch Moses at 9s. Bog, best on the ground. Yes.
Trell Mitchell.
Trell Mitt. Oh, was that a Trell Mitt triple?
Yeah.
I like that.
I said Brian To'o.
Oh, of course you did. All right. Good gear. Shout out to Queensland. We done?
Wait, they exist? What?
Yeah, no bias here down in the great state of New South. No late show tonight, guys. Thank you for hanging in there with Origin and everything going on. Back to normal procedures next week with the late show at our normal time of Wednesday, 3 p.m. What did you do on SC Playbook last night?
We had a look, mate, went through the 2 Origin teams and the Supercoach relevant players there. The players we're looking to hold, the players we're looking to sell through that period. And then there's a couple of smokies that, to your Lomax point, there's still some plays in there that people go, they're playing Origin, they'll miss games, don't buy them. There's some potential buys in there. Zach Lomax being top of that. So we look through that.
Did you guys talk about Zach Lomax?
Yeah,
as one of those
Nathan
guys?
did.
Yeah,
He G'd up.
I
Not
was
as much
listening
as
to
you,
that. I
but
really like the spy.
He's good.
He's a good fella.
Man. He's
Good
flying
man.
as well.
Yeah, how so?
He's up to like 1,300 or something.
Yeah,
Started
wow.
very slow, making some moves.
Yeah, wow. How's Maxie going?
Wasn't on tonight, but also going well, mate. The team have come good as I've sort of started to decline. Desi went hopper last week, called it.
Of course he fucking did. Of course Desmond went fucking hopper. Jesus Christ. Nah, that worries me so much.
Waterboy shit the bed.
Yeah, he's sinking.
Yeah.
The boy can sink. All right. Kudos. See you next week.